Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, ladies and gents. I go by the name of Vaylen, and it's been some time since I did a vlog. I think the first vlog that I did, and was the last one that I did, was the preparations for 5.4. 5.4 is here and gone and here and stuff. So I thought, you know, I think it's about time I did a vlog, do some plugins for a lot of podcasts and websites that I'm a huge fan of, and really just generally update you guys on what I've been doing, where I've been going, who I've been seeing. Not many people, and plans for 2014. Now, if you don't know what I do and what I enjoy doing, I've been playing World of Warcraft for, I think it's 9 years now. 9 years, on and off, more than on than off, and I've been writing for about 10 years, so I've been playing them both close to a decade. It sounds a lot, and it definitely does feel like a lot, but they're both huge passions of mine. Writing, I love writing, I always have done, whether it be poems, short stories, songs, anything I want to write about. Boom, baby, I go write about that. So I do. And my blog is focused on the monk. Now, the monk for me has been a strange class. It takes quite a while for me to settle into a class that I really enjoy. And I've played a fair few sort of from the end of the golden age of vanilla all the way up to now, and I've had about 4 or 5 mains during that process. So I've been a bit of a main switcher. I've never really focused on a main, and I really wish I have done. Now this character, my monk, goes by the name of Vaylen. I've done my fair share of Brewmaster tanking and heroic. I've done a fair bit of Windwalker heroic now, and I've just sort of touch on sort of Mistweaving. I'm a huge Shaman fan healer, so it's a big switch from Shaman healing to Mistweaver healing. Not saying that you shamans are lazy, but damn, it is easy to heal on top meters as a shaman. Mistweaver, difficult, hard to learn. I don't understand it. There's chi coming out from everywhere. I'm using mana to gain chi, using chi to gain mana, and it's just, I have no idea what I'm looking for, what I'm watching for. So all I've got is Affinity's REM tracker, and that's all I'm doing really. I don't have any idea what I'm sort of checking out. So it's still a learning process for me, but I'll keep you guys updated on my blog for sure. I definitely enjoy it. I want to sort of focus on my monk now, and that is it. I've deleted all my other mains. My old TBC hunters, they're all gone. My shaman that was close to the legendary in Kata, that's gone. And my paladin that I started MOP with, gone. I just have my monk, a bank character, and my shaman. Now, that out of the way, I thought I'd plug in some podcasts and some blogs that I've been reading a hell of a lot, and I definitely recommend them. To me, I've learned that the community as a whole for World of Warcraft is probably one of the most important things that you could sort of understand and acknowledge. Being elitism is so silly for whoever's doing it, because you miss out on all the good stuff. The community is brilliant. The podcasts are brilliant, the blogs are brilliant, the people that I talk to on Twitter that I've met from my blog are brilliant. The monk community in general is brilliant. Now, there's a number of people that I want to mention, and there's a few blogs and, like I said, podcasts and stuff that I really want to mention to just let you guys sort of understand what sort of things they do, what to expect from them in the future, and maybe open your eyes and broaden your horizons to a new way of playing World of Warcraft, because I've done it and it is awesome. So the first one that I want to mention quickly, I've got a list of them here from my blog, is Sonya's Art of War. Sonya's been around for quite some time. I don't know how long, but quite some time. And she focuses on, now, she originally played a Druid tank, and now she focuses more on Brewmaster tanks. And her blog's full of Brewmaster guides, tips and tricks, tips and more tricks of what to do with a Brewmaster. Specific encounters, tactics, trinket comparisons, which I always mention because I love them. Do some more! And general whole of a Brewmaster. Brilliant content, brilliant blog. I definitely recommend doing it. Check it out. Links to all these that I'm going to mention are going to be down in the description, so just check it out when you feel like it, really. The next blog that I want to quickly mention is Brewmistres.blogspot.co.uk. Now, I think it's a relatively new blog now. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, it's brilliant. I've only just started to read it, and I really enjoy it. It's about transmogs, general up-to-date sort of day-by-day updates, and it's an interesting read because I do the same, and it's interesting to see what other people write about. One, it gives you inspiration to write about stuff, and two, it's just cool to see what other people are really up to. The second blog, or third blog that I want to mention, is, I hope I've read it right, morphonise.blogspot.co.uk. It's very similar to Brewmistres, but obviously with a different flavour, a different flair to it. He does a lot of, he interacts with the community a lot as well. He asks for people, what class should I play, what race should I play? He doesn't get an answer, so he puts a poll up, tons of people sort of reply back. There's his playthrough set, he'll do a blog about what he's doing with that class, what race, and it's a really good read, and I'd definitely recommend spending a bit of time reading it and sort of trying to push out these blogs, share the love, retweet it on Twitter, do your bit to sort of get that community hustling and bustling and doing its thing. Podcasts, I think I'm onto podcasts now that I really want to mention. Now, 3 of them are going to be obvious, and I really hope you guys have heard of them, or if you haven't, definitely check them out. The first one that isn't monk related, unfortunately, is Torrent Think Tank. Now, the podcast is hosted by Remgar and Jules, and they've been around for a lot longer than a lot of other podcasts and a lot of other blogs, and there's a reason for it, and they're brilliant. Obviously, they talk about World of Warcraft, what they've been doing in the past week or 2 weeks, if they've got a new raid team, what bosses they've downed, what they've been up to, but they also mention a lot of things that you don't really hear. And it's a lot of problems and a lot of issues that players who contact them have questions about, whether it be about a bereavement, depression, anxiety, anything that people find difficult to talk about. They get a lot of people that ask them, what should I do? What can I do? What should I say to people? Give me good advice on this. And they'll do their best, and it's always a good listen, and some of it is so good. And they get a ton of guests, and I definitely recommend listening to them. I love the podcast. I think I started listening to them around episode 20 to 25. It was quite early on, and now I think they're on up to like in the 80s, 85, 86, maybe 87 now. And it is such a good podcast. I definitely recommend it. Check it out. You'll learn to love it. I love it. That sets up my Sunday morning just spot on with a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich. But hey. The next podcast that I want to mention is Monkcraft Podcast. Now, this is one of 2 podcasts that I'm going to mention about the monk. Monkcraft sort of primarily focuses on theory crafting and brings in a lot of high-end players, one of them being Rotund. Now, Rotund, to me, is a great player. For one, he's one of the only ones that I know of a Windwalker that's on Heroic Garrosh, killed it as Windwalker. There's not many groups, especially 10-man, obviously I think he rates in 25, but there's not many 10-mans in this day and age that like to bring in Windwalker monks, especially Windwalker monks, to their raid team. Apparently they don't offer much. It's all rubbish. So it's a great podcast to listen to. I definitely recommend it. Of all the other things that I've recommended, the co-host and the host are brilliant. His guests are fantastic, and I definitely recommend a listen. Now, the last podcast I'm going to mention is one that is going to be quite obvious, and I'm not going to beat around the bush. Monk Meditation Podcast, or monkmeditation.com. Probably my favourite podcast out of any podcast that I've personally listened to. Now, for me, playing a monk, I started this blog sort of the same time as they released their first podcast, and I don't know how I found it, I don't know where it come from. All I know, it was bang on time when I started my blog, and it just seemed like fate. I'm starting to write about my monk and enjoying a passion of mine, and I think, damn, I really wish there was a monk community. I wish there was some driving force behind the monks. All of a sudden, boom, there's this podcast. Sunny was on the podcast, and I was a fan of her blog before I even knew about the podcast, and it was just so strange. All of a sudden, I'm reading these blogs, this podcast appears, and every 2 weeks they release a podcast. It makes my night. After a raid night, or after I've been seeing my girlfriend, I'll whack on the podcast, and I'm so chilled. It's such a good listen. It's co-hosted by Daikatsu, Nayuki, Captain Crunch, Air, and Chai Tea. All great players, and I definitely recommend listening to it. It's my favourite podcast. I was featured on it before, and they're brilliant people to talk to. I can't speak about it enough, but I just want you guys to know that there's podcasts, there's blogs out there that are fantastic, that are overlooked, that should be watched, read, loved, listened, breathed, everything. So do it, and you'll feel better for it, because there's so much to learn from other people's opinions, so much more perspective to understand, and it will change you completely because it's so good. So that's oh no, there's one more, and how could I forget this one? World of Warcraft, as far as I'm aware, is first e-magazine. It's an e-magazine that you can download every few weeks. Issue 1 was just released about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so there's going to be a new one soon. In the first episode, I did a page or some writing about some myths in World of Warcraft, one of them being the GM Island. Now, I know there's a lot of videos and a lot of guides and a lot of myth around this sort of legend, that it were, but I thought I'd give my take on it, explain what I think about it, and hopefully you guys have maybe read it. If you haven't, download the PDF file. You can read it on the way to work, on the bus, on a boat, in your car, on your PC, on your laptop, on your iPad. Definitely give it a read. It's brilliant. It's got all these guides, strategy guides, PvP guides, PvE guides, interviews, and the recent interview was with Torn Think Tank. Definitely check it out. So that's that done. That's the plugins done. If you have a blog that you're interested in and you want promoted, or if you want a podcast promoted, contact me on my contact page. You'll find all my contact listings on that page. Find one, send me some links. I'll do my best to sort of push that out there for you. One website that I think needs a special mention, and to the monk community it's going to be no surprise, it's going to be cheatburst.com. It's been around for a number of weeks, maybe 2 months. I'm so bad at tracking the dates, but nonetheless, it's a brilliant, brilliant place to call home for monks. It's our first general place to go to if you have monk questions, if you have ideas on changes for warlords, if you want to write about the lore. There's so much going on this website that we want to make home for monks. Monks at the moment is the most underrepresented class, but the thing is, the people that play them are really, really good people. Not players, but people. You know, they'll talk to you, they'll understand your concerns about the class, what you should do with this trinket, why you should use this trinket, why you should use cooldowns on this stage of a fight, and why you shouldn't. All these things that they sort of give advice on, and it's not elitist at all. It's brilliant, and I definitely recommend it. It's going on so well. It's got all blog guides on there. It's got sort of like live streams, a list of live streams. If you're trying to find a monk live stream, there's a whole list of them there. Check it out. With everything else, I mean, it's a good start, and the monk community is only going to get better. Talking of which, on that website I have a cheeky little thread going on for a BlizzCon meetup. Now, BlizzCon, we don't know when it is, we don't know what day it's on, what week it's on, what month it's on. All we know is there's going to be another one. It's going to be after Warlords. There's going to be a huge, huge hustle and bustle about this BlizzCon, what World of Warcraft and what direction it's going in next. So I thought, let's see if we can get a monk community meetup. Now, to me, it's a big deal because I've never been to America before, let alone sort of be involved in such a huge community, or a community that I want to help grow. So I thought it'd be a great way to sort of have your finest brew, whether it be your tea brew or your fortifying brew or your tiger's eye brew, to really meet up, have a chill time, talk about BlizzCon, go off in groups, do what you want to do at BlizzCon, but just really meet the players. So if you're interested in blogging, podcasting, live streaming, PvPing, PvEing, and you want to meet the players that you've been speaking to online, definitely check it out. Check that out. I've been to Sweden a number of times, and I actually met some guild members of mine. I thought, you know what, I've been raiding with these guys for a couple of years, I should go and meet these guys. I've spent hours online with them, why don't I go and meet them? I went to meet them, I think it was October of about last year, maybe 2 years ago, and it was probably the most coolest, surrealist experience of my life. I met players that I know their voices, obviously I've seen them online, but I've never actually met them, and it was a blast. I've been there 4 times now. Me and my girlfriend, we want to go out there and sort of, you know, we want to hopefully move out there eventually. So it's, you know, World of Warcraft's changed a lot for me, really, because I've experienced new places, I've met people in real life, and I just want to do that more for the community. I want people to really just enjoy it, enjoy the game for what it is, and meet new people and just have fun. That's the main thing. So that's the gaming side for me sorted. That's the blog and the podcast sorted. So I just want to go over a few things IRL. Now, I've been trying to find a balance between, and I've done quite a good job of it, of going to the gym now, playing World of Warcraft and some other games, obviously seeing my girlfriend a lot, because all of them are the things that I really enjoy most. And I just want to quickly say that after listening to a few episodes of Torn Think Tank, I went through a bereavement of my own, from someone very, very close in my family, my stepdad. And he always wanted me to do something that I enjoyed, and he always not pushed me, but he always helped me along the way and doing something that I really enjoyed. And he always had a passion for me having a passion in something. And he always enjoyed the fact that I enjoyed writing and that I enjoyed something, you know, I had a passion for something. Now, I took that focus and the negativity that I had going through that bereavement, and I started going to the gym. Now, I went to the gym, and when I first went, I was on about 175 to 179 pounds. It depended on what I ate that week. And now I'm down to about 159 to about 162, 163 pounds. Now, it might not sound a lot, but I definitely can feel it. And that's the most important thing. I can feel progression in myself. I feel better in myself. And other people can see it too. I'm not just playing World of Warcraft, and I'm not staying secluded in my room. You know, I'm going to see my girlfriend, I'm going out places for dinner, going on all crazy adventures. I'm playing World of Warcraft just as much, maybe not if more, and I'm going to the gym 3 or 4 times a week for about an hour and a half, and I feel so good about it. And I just really want people to know that you don't need to do one thing to feel better about yourself. Now, I'm going to do a blog post on this about balancing gaming with like sort of dieting and healthy living and such. So hopefully you guys will be interested in that. It's going to be a lot different to what I normally post, obviously lore and stuff, but this is going to be more IRL based. Now, a lot of my blog posts have been very WoW based. Obviously, it's a WoW blog, a monk blog in particular, and the most recent post that has received a lot of feedback was my way of the monk, giving the lore, my interpretation of the monk. And it's a good thing because obviously players and people enjoy reading it, but I also want to give it my own spin and my own flair to my blog. So you're going to see a lot more vlogs, a lot more IRL things going on my blog, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. If you don't, that's fair enough. I just do what I do on my blog because I have a huge passion for what I do, and I'm going to keep on going and going to keep on going until World of Warcraft stops, till everything stops working and the sky is falling. But till then, you're going to see me constantly doing my blog, doing my thing. That's just the way it's going to go. So if you have a game review or you have a product review that you want to see or for me to do for you, if you want an interview done, be sure to check out my contacts page. Find me on any of those contacts, whether it be on Twitter, email, in-game. You'll contact me some way. I'm free to do what needs to be done. I want to push my blog forward. I want to get the blog community and the monk community hustling and bustling more so than it already is. So with your help, I can hopefully achieve it, and hopefully by the end of 2013 and after the BlizzCon meetup and after everything else that we've done, I can say that I did what I could, I did what I said, and I did it. So stick around, guys. Hopefully I'll be doing a lot more of these blogs soon. But until then, take care. Check out the blogs. I'll leave a link in the description below. Feel free to check it out, and yeah, I'll see you guys around soon. That's enough waffling for me. The Brit's going to go and make a tea because this one's cold, and I shall speak to you guys very soon. So, peace.